Hello, hello, continuous liners. Good morning, muy buenos dias. This is Meagan Burns coming to you live from the skies of San Miguel de Allende. I made my own latte at home today. I do that quite often, right? The only time I really go out and buy coffee is when I'm doing my live streams, right? But it is nice to stay home and have a coffee, isn't it? So I'm on the rooftop of my apartment. The sun is warming up. The day is warming up. This is like one of my favorite places. I come up here at sunrise, and I try to come up here at sunset. It doesn't always work. I'm running around doing stuff. Oh, look, there's a photo shoot going on over there. I think it's a photo shoot, or it's sexy time. I'm not quite sure. So here I am on the rooftop of my apartment, and I've got my continuous line warm-up book here, and I got my ballpoint pen, and I'm going to just start doing some continuous line warm-ups here. I didn't really feel like going out into the world today. Yesterday I had a toothache, and toothaches scare me because usually it means a lot of money. So I hunkered down. I worked all day, but then I just came into the bunker, and I still had some medication from when I had a tooth explode 2 years ago. I still have that. Oh, did I grab the wrong book? No, it's not. I took a little, I had to take some pain medication, which I am not a fan of taking any medication, right? But I was in a little pain. So I was just hiding out this morning, hoping that my toothache is just a fleeting thing, and so far so good. Knock on wood. So I'm up here on the rooftop, and I thought, well, I'm going to check in with my people. This week I had my first saturated ink class, and already it's a part of my San Francisco agenda. They approved it, and it's just so cool to see the explosion of color. What did I just hear? The explosion of, we've always been a very creative and the colorful group, right? I discovered these inks early in the pandemic, and so many others have been using them. And it's not like you just have to use the saturated inks. You can get, there's other ways to be colorful for sure. But I do like how within the group of the continuous line, a lot of people are not only experimenting with line, but with color también, right? Because why not? Why not? Just speaking from my own experience, I love drawing, and I love drawing on location, but urban sketching can get you to feel like, oh, I have to do this correct or it's wrong, right? Because it's like you have to sketch the thing in front of you. But by incorporating some expressive lines, expressive colors, expressive creativity, right? Like, why not just make things up? Why not, right? I like to live in a magical world. And in this day and age, that can be a little tricky because, first of all, people, if you say that to people, they think you're insane. Oh, how sweet. She lives in a magical world in this hard, crass, hardball, hardline world. She thinks she lives in a magical world. I do. And I have that right. If that's what gets me through the day, if that's what gets me through the night, I'm sticking with it, right? Because I do come up here, and I like, it's something I started to do during the pandemic, because I started staring at the sky. And, I was always too busy to do that before. Busy. Gotta go here, gotta go there, gotta get here, gotta get there. But the pandemic changed a lot of things, including the time I had to stare at the skies, right? And I feel like that in and of itself had changed me, right? Like just being able to, I saw some weird things in the sky for sure. Oh, there's a pretty bird. I saw some things moving around, right? And then people will say, well, you're crazy. You're just crazy. You're seeing things. I'm like, okay, then I'm seeing things. I don't really tell people that because they go, you're just crazy. And I'm okay with being perceived as not crazy insane. Like, some people are crazy insane, right? It's a crazy insane world, right? Like dangerous insane. right? I don't want to be dangerous. I want to be like colorful and insane, artistic and insane, but at the same time I can still get shit done. Oh, I probably shouldn't swear. I can still get things done, right? I had to spend way too much time. I'm not tooting my own horn, but I can still do Excel spreadsheets like a champ, okay? And I don't like it. Well, I mean, I guess I take that back. It's not that I don't. It can be satisfying to see numbers come together. It's satisfying to see formulas work, right? I mean, call me crazy, but yeah, go ahead, call me crazy. I don't care. And you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares if we're crazy, right? Well, some people might care. If you're like the driver of a bus and everyone thinks you're crazy, that might be weird. Well, who's driving a bus of people? I'm not. I mean, I haven't. Not in a while, at least. Yeah, no, I haven't driven a bus full of people. Or, how about this? You're president of the United States, but you're dangerously insane. That's a problem, right? That's a problem. Insane from colors and artistic expression and seeing UFOs and seeing lights in your head and just wanting to be in and live a magical life. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, honestly, it's what gets me through the night, right? Like I said, I had a toothache, and that's scary, right? It's scary for the pain reasons, but then it's scary like, oh my God, my dentist is in Mexico City, so I got to take a bus into the city, and then I got to stay in a hotel, and then I got to go see him. Last time I saw him, there was an earthquake, and the whole building, we had to run outside while he had his hands in my mouth, and we had to run outside in the pouring rain. Earthquakes, everyone yelling, sirens going off. So, it sort of triggers my trauma. But all was well, and he did a great job. And so I will probably have to make plans to go back and see him. And I miss him, so I don't mind going back. I just hope there's not an earthquake. But anyways, that's life in 2024. You just never know what's going to happen, right? So that's why it's good to stay loose and stay practiced in your hobby, whatever it may be, right? Is it drawing? Well, then just keep drawing, right? Keep drawing through the chaos. Oh my God, how about this drama in the UK? Where the heck is Kate? I mean, is that not the weirdest story? Because the queen in waiting, or whatever she is, and her children have not been seen in months. What? And we used to see them all the time. And they're like MIA. And the story just keeps getting weirder and weirder and weirder. It's the end of the monarchy, perhaps, which, that's probably high time. But it's just weird how that story is unfolding. And every day we're getting more detail. Oh my God. Is it true? We don't know. Everything's fake these days, right? Everything is fake. With that whole debacle, I just caught a glimpse of they were doing the press, when all the journalists asked the question of the White House press secretary, and she was asked, does the White House ever use fake altered photos? And she said no, but you could see she was a little uncomfortable. And honestly, at this day and age, who's not using altered photos? Because an altered photo is Photoshop. And it just got very windy. Who's not altering photos? And then when you think about like somebody like in a high public office, well, if they look like they're like sleeping or whatever, or you just happen to, haven't we all seen a photo of ourselves, or maybe we got too many double chins? I don't do this too often where I'm like manipulating myself. I draw myself thinner. I don't necessarily make photos look thinner because I don't care, right? Like, why waste your time with that? But there's some people who really care about that, right? And so when you're talking about celebrities or high public offices, I bet you we're guaranteed there's photo manipulation, right? So we're very much in an era of everything is fake. Everything is fake and everything's on fire. I need a sip of my coffee. Hi everyone, how are we all doing? Hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever, wherever you're at in the world. I'm on my rooftop, hoping to get hit by all the solar flares that are out there and the Jewish space lasers. No, I don't want to do that. I'm just enjoying a little rooftime sun, doing my drawing warm-ups. With my beautiful Oaxaqueño coffee. And I'm doing some line warm-ups, right? And I can already tell I'm about a third of the way through this page of doing my line warm-ups. And I can already feel the centering consequence. Sometimes words escape me. I can feel the effects of doing my continuous line warm-up, because it does have a way of sort of, you know, like in this crazy world, if you stay away from the news, good for you. But it's kind of hard to avoid these things, right? Like just what's happening in the world. There's a curiosity, what is going on out there today? And then, oh God, I don't need to know all this, right? So it can very quickly turn overwhelming and scattering, right? Like all of a sudden I can feel very scattered by, what I've read. Like I feel like my aura, this is part of my magical talking, I feel like my aura is shredded and it's hard to feel sovereign. And at this age of my life and at this juncture, I feel like it's super important for me to do anything I can to feel sovereign, to feel whole, to feel like I'm in my feet, I'm grounded, I'm connected to the earth, I'm connected to this universe, I'm connected to my community, but I'm not afraid so much where I'm scattered and in the chaos, right? Because if there's anything that this world has a lot of right now, it's chaos, right? And so to combat the chaos, I do my line warm-ups, right? And I encourage others to. I've had a number of people say to me, oh, I like them, but I always forget. And I know, I forget too. Not so much anymore, but I would say in the first year of doing them, I forgot. Oh yeah, those things, right? And it's kind of why I started the live streams. There wasn't any master plan with this. It just, I kind of do things on a whim, right? Like very spontaneous. Even the saturated ink class, it came together very quickly. I presented it to my group and a lot of people were like, yeah, let's have that. Let's do that, right? It came together quickly. And same with the live streams. It was a way for me to remember how to do the thing that makes me feel better. How many of us forget to do the thing that makes us feel better? Whether it's walking or yoga or eating right or spending time with your dog. Not people, but with your dog. I need a dog so I can spend time. You know what? I come up here in the morning and about 4 houses away on a rooftop, there's 2 dogs that get let out while I'm doing my morning thing. And one of them, he's yelling at me. I can hear him. He's saying, hey, what are you doing? And I go to the edge of the roof and I go, hi, how are you? And I see his tail goes, and he goes, roo, roo, roo. And I'm like, hello. Honestly, for the past couple weeks now, each morning, not past couple weeks, I haven't been here that long, for the past 2 weeks, this dog has said, what are you doing? And I said, hello, neighbor. And he said, hello. So we say hello every morning, right? That's a beautiful way of being connected in your community, right? It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm doing all this volunteer work to save the world, right? That's a good thing. But even just like connecting with a dog that's 4 rooftops over or whatever, right? That's magical to me, right? Like, I remember living in Austin, Texas, and there was a park downtown where a lot of parrots had gathered and not gather, they live, right? And it's like the parrots get loose and they somehow find this park. These beautiful green parrots and parakeets and stuff like that. I forget the name of the park, but it was very cool. And I think I have this green space right in front of me, and I think that is what's happening, because when I go out there in the morning, I hear they're not just your average birds and stuff like that. These are like parrots and parakeets. And so I think the lost parrots find this green space here, and it's a very cool sound to hear, like, well, I guess that's exotic birds, but I guess if they're Mexican birds, they're not exotic. Anyways, what am I talking about? You gotta find the magic, right? You gotta find the things that make you feel good and special, right? Special, right? Like to talk to a dog He's like a half a block away. To talk to him in the morning, to listen to the birds that are gathering out here, to watch the skies. I just watched this plane take a very sharp turn, and he made a very interesting chemtrail, or whatever those things are, right? You got to look for the magic. You got to make time to find the thing. Oh, very windy. My hat's going to blow off. I can just tell. And if my hat blows off, that's it. It's gone forever. Kind of like my hat. It's a true blue Guanajuato cowboy hat. This is Guanajuato style with the big dip, right? Every city, just kind of like every region, has their own hats. And this is a Guanajuato style hat. It's very big. It's got big wings. It's like a nun. And so when the wind comes by it, I feel like I'm going to take off. Yeah, back to my lines now. So, find the thing that makes you feel balanced. Find the thing that makes you feel good, right? For me, it's drawing. For me, it's making art. I like sketching on location. I like, I work on a farm too, right? I like farm stuff. I like to hang out with cows. I like to hang out with animals, right? I need more animals in my life, as demonstrated by me speaking to neighborhood dogs on the rooftops. And drawing. Yeah. See, I can just tell it kicked in, and it just was like, all right, Meagan, take it down a notch. Take it down a freaking notch. And I think, honestly, that's the magic of getting, being grounded by something that is important to you, right? Because it's very easy to be, I'll speak for myself, it's very easy for me to remain in the fear and the chaos, right? Like, glance at the news out there, and I'm like, oh, God, we're doomed, right? There's no water, there's, things are precarious in every direction that you look, right? The road ahead is looking to be a little bumpy, right? So, I don't live with anyone. Well, I have a landlord, but I don't, if you live with someone, you can have idle conversation, right? I don't really get to do that unless I'm out on the streets, right? So just, connecting with people in ways that are not like chaos inducing, right? Having coffee with a friend, going out drawing with a friend, just kind of doing things that make you feel normal, right? I think that's an important thing. How do you just feel normal and okay, right? Like, I used to get toothaches, not a lot, but I remember a toothache would just be a toothache. Now a toothache is like, oh my God, they're going to have to remove my jaw, and I'm going to be sedated, and it's going to cost me thousands of dollars. And, like, I take it into this whole place of like, it's going to maim me forever. And I suppose toothaches can maim a person, but the fact that I'm still able to talk and I'm not in pain, and I haven't chewed anything yet, but I think I will be able to. I think it's going to be okay, right? I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of like just having done some continuous lines, just to kind of get me grounded. Get me grounded and feel like I'm going to be okay, right? Because honestly, everything is going to be okay for sure. And then it's going to be over, right? Whatever it is, it's going to be over at some point. Somehow, very windy. Here it comes, man. There goes my hat, I'm sure of it. Anyway, so I'm getting ready to go down and do my Zoom class, my continuous line Zoom class, and I feel like everyone has just everyone is expressing themselves in ways that make me so proud to be a part of this community. I feel, from the outside, it's like, well, how hard is it to express yourself? Well, for a lot of people, it's very hard, right? And to express yourself creatively, there's a lot of like bad juju going on with a lot of people. You're not good, you're a fraud, you can't do this, don't waste your time, your mother thinks you're a bad artist, there's a lot of like backstory to everyone's art journey. And so I'm seeing a whole group of people really just beautifully expressing themselves artistically, and with through their line and through their stories and through their community involvement, right? There's a lot of love in the continuous line group, and I mean, cool. Let me have an art community for sure, right? Like, how fun is that? But I guess the bonus is that people are really supportive and encouraging to their fellow artists. It's not like me, look at me. It's a lot of like, look what I did and look what you did, right? How awesome is that, right? So it's an acknowledgement of one's own progress, but it's also an acknowledgement of what's happening within the community. And I couldn't be more thrilled about that, because that's one of those bonus things. Like, oh yeah, not only is it a really awesome art community, and people are expressing themselves in ways that you didn't even know was possible, but then look at the love. Look at the love that is being shared among the fellow participants. I'm super proud of it, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to see where this is going to go. In a world where I can say that I'm a little nervous about the future, I am excited for the future of my art community, of my continuous line drawing community. I'm very excited for it, because I think there's going to be a lot of good things. I feel like people are going to start showing their art publicly, whether it's selling it or having it be on display, or, you know, just sharing their art, sharing their stories. I think that's a beautiful thing. And me too. I got my website up now. It's funny, like, when I didn't have my website, people were like, I would get more inquiries, like, oh, do you sell your art? Can I buy your art? Is your art for sale? Yeah. And then I get my website that's got my paintings, and then it's crickets. But that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes, and I'm totally okay with it, because honestly, selling my art is not really my goal. It's more encouraging others to creatively express themselves, and myself included, right? Like, I've got some paintings in a cafe here, and I looked at them, and they're very cute. They're cute. But I was very very controlling, right? Like, what am I trying to say? I was trying to be precise in a way. And I am, and I was, but now my drawings are much more like a cafe probably won't want them. And I'm okay with that, right? All right, finishing big with 4 squished hearts. Oh, where's the sun? There it is. There we go. Oh, the sun is behind me. There we go, if you can see that. 4 squished hearts. Remember to go easy on yourself and easy on others. These are crazy, crazy days. We got wars, we got political unrest, we've got unsolved royal mysteries, we've got, the COVID is still making its rounds. I mean, there's people showing up at Urban Sketchers with COVID, and I'm like, man, don't do that. If you have COVID, stay home. That's all I ask. If you have COVID, stay home. And make art. Make art with an online community, right? It's good to have that as a backup, because, if you get it, and maybe it's your first time or your fourth time, stay home and take good care, right? We don't know how this whole thing is going to continue to unravel, but first and foremost, take good care of the whole deal, right? Which includes your community, which means don't spread it if you can. Anyways, don't get me started on that now. All right, everyone, have a great day. I'm going to go do my, my Zoom continuous on drawing. Looking forward to seeing many of you on Zoom and in person as we're able to, okay? Stay safe out there. Keep drawing. See you next time. Bye.